Here we go.
This is the rivalry that has decided championships.
Nobody said it's going to be easy.
Touchdown! Unbelievable start.
In the world of college football, rivalries define legacies, and few rivalries are as storied as Georgia versus Alabama. These two powerhouses have clashed on the field for decades, but their battles have reached new heights in recent years. From the heart-pounding 2017 national championship to the latest showdown in Tuscaloosa just a few days ago, this rivalry has become one of the most thrilling matchups in sports. What makes it so special is not just the history or the stakes, but the way these teams embody excellence year after year. They aren't just playing for bragging rights. Georgia and Alabama are playing for dominance over the entire college football landscape. And with each passing game, the rivalry seems to intensify, adding even more to its rich legacy. So, what makes this rivalry so compelling? And more importantly, where is it headed next? Buckle up, because we're diving into one of the most iconic rivalries in college football. Before Kirby Smart and Nick Saban took center stage, the Georgia-Alabama rivalry already had decades of history behind it. These two SEC giants have been locking horns since 1895, with every game adding to the lore of the matchup. Historically, Alabama has held the upper hand, with numerous conference titles and national championships under its belt. Yet, despite Alabama's dominance, Georgia has always been a formidable opponent, capable of pulling off stunning upsets that shake up the SEC standings. Every matchup feels like a clash of titans, with both teams often ranked in the top 10, and national implications hanging in the balance. And even though Alabama often came out on top in the early years, Georgia has never shied away from the challenge, using every loss as motivation to get better. The rivalry's intensity only grew as both teams cemented themselves as national powerhouses in the 21st century, leading to some of the most memorable moments in college football history. But everything changed when Kirby Smart left Saban's staff to take over at Georgia. No story about this rivalry is complete without the thrilling chapter of the 2017 national championship game. Kirby Smart, the former defensive coordinator for Nick Saban, had returned to his alma mater, Georgia, with the goal of bringing a championship home. And in just his second season, he led the Bulldogs to the title game against his former boss.
Good afternoon, Chris. All right, Kirby, you said the biggest part of this game is managing anxiety and emotions. As the initial seconds tick off the clock, what will be an indicator your team's ready to go?
I don't think you can tell who's ready to go from the few seconds we've got left. I know both teams are prepared. It's been a long preparation. We're excited and ready to go.
It was a showdown for the ages, one that represented not just a fight for the championship, but a symbolic passing of the torch between mentor and mentee. Georgia, led by freshman quarterback Jake Fromm, built a commanding 13-point lead at halftime, only to see Alabama claw its way back into contention. The game's climax came in overtime when Alabama's backup quarterback Tua Tagovailoa delivered a stunning 41-yard touchdown pass to win the game, 26-23. The heartbreaking loss for Georgia was a turning point. For Kirby Smart and his Bulldogs, it wasn't just a defeat, it was a lesson. This crushing blow fueled Georgia's desire to finally overcome Alabama, ensuring that the next chapter of this rivalry would be even more intense. The 2020 season brought another highly anticipated clash between Georgia and Alabama, as both teams entered the game undefeated and ranked in the top 5. Taking place on October 17th in Tuscaloosa, this matchup was seen as a potential turning point for Kirby Smart's Bulldogs, who were determined to finally conquer their longtime nemesis. Georgia started strong, with quarterback Stetson Bennett leading the offense, and the Bulldogs' defense holding Alabama in check for much of the first half. Georgia even took a slim 24-20 lead into halftime. But Alabama's explosive offense, powered by quarterback Mac Jones, wide receiver Devontae Smith, and running back Najee Harris, proved too much to handle in the second half. The Crimson Tide surged ahead, outscoring Georgia 21-0 after the break to secure a 41-24 victory. It was another painful defeat for Georgia, and once again, Alabama reinforced their dominance in this storied rivalry. However, this loss only deepened the Bulldogs' resolve, setting the stage for future rematches that would add even more fuel to the fire of this fierce competition. After years of being overshadowed by Alabama, Georgia finally got their revenge in 2021. The Bulldogs entered the SEC championship game undefeated, brimming with confidence in a national championship in their sights. But Alabama, ever the perennial powerhouse under Saban's masterful coaching, handed them their first loss of the season with a dominant 41-24 victory. It was a sobering moment for Georgia, who once again found themselves unable to topple their longtime rival when it mattered most. Many wondered if Georgia could ever overcome the Crimson Tide's dominance, especially in the postseason. But just a few weeks later, the two teams met again, this time in the national championship. Georgia had learned from their mistakes, adjusting their strategy and approach. Behind a ferocious defense and stellar performance from quarterback Stetson Bennett, the Bulldogs triumphed 33-18, securing their first national title in over 40 years. This victory not only ended Alabama's reign, but also proved that Georgia was capable of standing toe-to-toe with the Crimson Tide on the biggest stage. It was more than just a win. It was a statement.
And the pick six to seal it. And one more play for the Georgia defense. Georgia on the mountaintop. Demons be gone, and the drought is over. National champions.
Fast forward to 2024, and the rivalry still remains as fierce as ever. Both Georgia and Alabama entered the game on September 28th with undefeated records, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. It was a clash of titans, with both teams vying for control of the SEC and a potential playoff berth. The atmosphere in Tuscaloosa was electric, with fans on both sides brimming with anticipation for yet another chapter in this storied rivalry. The game itself did not disappoint. Alabama, led by quarterback Jalen Milroe, jumped out to an early lead, with their explosive offense testing Georgia's vaunted defense at every turn. Despite being down, Kirby Smart's Bulldogs refused to back down. Behind quarterback Carson Beck, Georgia mounted a furious second-half comeback, closing the gap to just one score late in the fourth quarter. The tension was palpable, as every possession felt like it could swing the momentum either way. But in the end, Alabama's defense held strong, and the Crimson Tide emerged with a hard-fought 41-34 victory. The game was a testament to the fact that no matter how much things change, the Georgia-Alabama rivalry will always deliver drama, excitement, and unforgettable moments.
Comes the pressure. Bennett immediately on the run. He'll be chased down.
This latest chapter in the rivalry further solidified the unpredictability and excitement of Georgia versus Alabama. Even with both teams boasting elite talent and coaching, the outcome always seems to hang in the balance until the final whistle. It's a rivalry that has transcended college football, capturing the attention of sports fans everywhere. And with both teams seemingly on a collision course for future matchups, one can only wonder what's next. Will Georgia and Alabama meet again this season? And if they do, who will come out on top? Let us know in the comments who you think would win the next matchup. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other content for more exciting college football coverage. Thanks for watching.